So cold. Welcome back to the weekly DLC. We're recording in a refrigerator today. I'm one of your hosts, Karosh, joined always by my co-host, Daniel Vargas.
There must be some Tauros in the atmosphere.
And my other co-host, Daniel Jane.
Mozambique here.
If you're not familiar with what we do, we come to each and every week from podcasting services of your choice on Mondays, and we sit around this table, freezing our asses off. Can you hand me my iced water, please?
Nah.
Thank you.
You'll freeze to death without water.
And yeah, we have some fun. We usually talk about nerdy stuff, movies, comics, games, everything in between. And we have fun. We hope you guys have fun with us. This is episode 107. 107, guys. So with that, let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
The topic that we're starting with is yours, Mr. Vargas. The floor is yours.
The flu is mad. So recently, the French Fencing Federation has made lightsaber duels official, or like a competitive sport, essentially. And I got super curious. I was like, what other fictional hobbies, sports, games are something that would be really cool seeing made official? Like something that obviously we can't have real like lightsabers. So what they do is they have
not yet.
they have
Come on,
weapons
friends, step it up.
that light up and use that. So obviously we can't have like these real objects, but something that we can very much mimic and have. What's something that would be a really cool official competitive sport?
I'm just going to right out the gate.
Do it. Break down those
It's the
gates.
same world.
Trojan horse.
Pod racing. Sebulba.
It's funny too because like I was like, I know exactly what you're gonna.
I didn't even think of it. I was like, I thought of like a bunch of other stuff that I'm
my
sure we'll
first
mention.
thought when I saw
and then I'm
Star
like,
Wars,
wait a
pod
second.
racing.
Fuck pod racing.
But thinking of a way to make it real, I can only think of possibly like drones.
Sure.
Drones that have like two attachments in the front. And they're just zooming by, and just imagining them crashing, you're just like, no.
But imagine it gets to the point. I think not obviously as fast as that, but a variation of it could exist in 5 years.
I know the movies try to make it seem like, dude, they're going insane.
Yeah,
speeds.
you need Jedi reflexes.
It just doesn't feel that way.
It felt that way for me. Like one wrong rock, and you're fucked. You go from zero, like, and the Tusken Raiders are just like,
right.
I just love the flash drives they had in those things. It was literally like a little thing like this, like, and like aft, done. And it's like, all the sounds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds, yeah.
They do like Formula One racing, just like I'm imagining a modified vehicle in which that is possible.
And hovers.
No, it doesn't have to. Okay.
No, I need it to hover.
Fine. Yeah.
It doesn't have to, obviously.
It does. But let's start somewhere and get there. Esports didn't happen overnight.
No, it's technically still not efficient. No.
I mean, it is.
That should be a conversation.
That's one of mine.
Mine, I was thinking something like Harry Potter has the Quidditch.
Chess. Oh,
the chess. Hey, that's another one. But Quidditch, because I've seen I've seen it done like on brooms. Yeah, exactly. It's not official though.
There is an official.
It's an official collegiate.
It's on
yeah.
ESPN or one.
Yeah.
All right, so chess is what I was referring to.
No, dueling. The dueling could be a thing.
How would that work?
I mean, it's like fencing.
With wands, like
you said fictional.
I know,
it's
but
fictional for a reason.
Like the thing is, like,
are we trying to make it real?
I feel like a quick description of how it could be made real, essentially, would work. And I can't see wands.
Make wands with sensors on them.
Have teams
voice commanded.
Laser.
Have teams where like they're like, water or whatever, and some guy just throws a bucket of water on the enemy or something.
No. Like, okay, if we're gonna like simulate it,
Yes.
not really have it happen. I thought you were like, we live in an imaginary world now where this is real. Imagine that being like a regular. But if we're simulating it like the lightsaber thing, I could definitely see tech being made where I mean, they have it already at Universal where you have wands that can like remote control your
Right.
TV based on emotion. We have gestures and Wiimotes and all that stuff. Make it so it goes also off of voice command, like a phone would.
Expeliosis.
Sure. And each one would there'd be a hierarchy.
Yeah.
It's like my Expelliarmus works against these 5 spells, but if he chooses these 2 spells, that would
Rock, paper,
supersede it and all this stuff. And so it's like, what are they going to say?
Yeah.
And what order,
So
what
someone
would it do? Like,
someone officially sees these and they're like, okay, he got that point. He got that point.
Yeah.
And then at the
like
end,
fencing.
It's like, 5 points to Gryffindor. And then they went. There you go. What about you,
be
Jake?
Mine's Quidditch, but it's I don't know if the technology is there, but it's using VR, and it's like you can. The technology's not there. The
Breaking all the
drones
things.
aren't like where you can they can grab. So you see it, but you control it and you feel the motion too.
Oh, shit.
If you get hit,
You would be on a chair, I'm assuming.
yeah, it's
to
like
get
one of
that.
those Star Tours
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So I want that Quidditch, but it's VR, and you could see the snitch, and so you'll see like
Shit. At that
robots,
point,
like,
you can just add any game.
quaffle like boom.
I would fucking lose it because of the height thing. It's like, fuck. They'd have a fan blowing on you the whole time.
Yes. If you get knocked off, you have to like I don't know. They push you off. I don't know. It's like,
There's a guy, I want that job. Just be like, did he beat him yet? Poof.
What's funny is like in the VR, there's a lot of people that try to like make it as realistic as possible. So
Yeah.
they'll add like like a car racing seat and all these things when they're playing like a VR racing game, or they'll
Yeah.
add everything they can to make it feel like they're inside of a jet when they're like playing a jet game. So I just imagine like the only thing I can think of is adding fans to make it feel like you're going through the air, and then actually sitting on a broom in the chair to feel like the broom between your legs, so you know like you're sitting on
it's
something
a
like
lift
that.
off.
Like that's the thing I can think of to make it like as realistic as
If
possible.
you get
while
hit
you're
with a
doing the
quaffle, they throw a ball at you.
Haptic feedback. No, dude, that's like you could just do a dumbed down version of Ready Player One. Have a
You
suit
can,
that would
yeah.
like respond with whatever.
Rumble.
Yeah.
There's a vest that like vibrates
Yeah.
when supposedly you would get hit or something like that. Yeah.
I'm out. I'm good. I'll coach. I'll be the Phil Jackson. I need a Kobe and I need a Shaq. That's you guys.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, with virtual reality, I'll add in the games from Ready Player One, dude. Those trials or whatever. Just have random people be able to do
As
it.
a sport?
Like it'd be like an event, like because I can't see like as a sport, but like a competition essentially, like a
Quest.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just adding that, like it just brought it up, like he
Okay, sure,
VR.
sure.
I was like,
No, I mean, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
My head went there too.
yeah.
In terms of sport, I thought of a few. Could work VR, could maybe not.
Yeah.
And outside, I thought of. You guys remember Batman Beyond?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that sport
Yeah,
they played in
yeah,
school
yeah.
with like it was like what's that?
Ultimate frisbee.
No. It's like the one
Lacrosse.
where
it has a hook with the ball.
yeah. There's another one, squash, I think.
Oh, sure.
Where you throw the ball with a curve
Yeah.
against the wall. It's sort of like
Oh,
racquetball.
highlight.
Highlight. That's it.
Oh, shit.
Highlight. Yeah. They have like a curved arm thing that the ball can.
I just
Yeah.
remember Jackass and
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville.
How strong?
But like they throw it much like racquetball, and
Yeah.
you have to like catch it and throw it back. But it was like, and this is gonna be my second one. It's a lot like Ender's Game where they were floating
Ooh.
and stuff. And Ender's Game was the other one I was thinking of. Like
Yeah.
just because if we could simulate 0 Gs, like imagine like we get space stations above where in the atmosphere. And just like host tournaments there and stream it to everyone, and people could watch it with VR as
Yeah.
if they're there, and you would have these people competing in like Ender's Game trials where they're like freezing each other, like
power ups.
not just powers, but the whole like freezing
know,
and
I
stuff
know.
in space. So I think that could be cool.
I just immediately like when you said freezing, I thought of like those like the vigilante games. where,
Oh
like-
yeah. No, but you remember in Ender's Game they do the thing where it's like their gun would make a certain part of the body like
Yeah.
just unmovable or something.
What else? I mean, I didn't think of the chess, but yeah, like live chess like that, having full size chess where the pieces also hurt people.
I mean, yeah, you could do that very much right now. Just have like a bunch of Ultimate Warrior people as your chess pieces.
Professionals are the chess
Brock
pieces.
Lesnar is my queen.
Exactly.
He's gonna fuck some people up.
I want to do. It's still with VR. You need to use VR, but like space battles. Like you remember those robot shows where they would fight? So you had to build your own spaceship. Like you had to build your own robot, and they would go in battle.
Okay.
Like in a,
Yeah.
So it would have to be a big
battle bots.
a big battle box.
Oh, I thought you said in space.
But
This one's in
we're
space.
gonna make you make
okay.
your own spaceship. Use VR, and it's like your objective is one-on-one dogfight in a big ass like
arena or something.
field. Yeah.
Okay. I would do have you guys both watched Legend of Korra?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay, so you've watched it. They have a sport in Legend of Korra where they're in a ring and the ring is in half and three people are fighting, and you're supposed to make the other team fall off the edges.
No,
or just get.
There's like a disc involved, isn't
No,
there?
it's many discs. Like they just chuck discs.
Oh, that's right. That's their weapon.
Yeah, but the goal is to get them off their side
Yeah,
of the
you're right.
the ring that
You're right.
they're all on, and you got pads and stuff. So I would somehow want to do that. I don't know if it work in VR
Yeah.
or if it's something else.
Yeah,
But
I couldn't
I love
remember what
that.
sport it was, and then when you brought it up, I remember like that's the thing that Korra uses to like kind of
learn how to use some
learn
of the
how to
abilities.
use some of her abilities. Yeah, she like refines them in that. I remember now.
It's like sort of American Gladiator style in some ways, but it was a fun thing to watch.
and have real lava on the ground.
Do you have any more?
I can't think of any more.
Oh man, there's so many.
I know there are so many. I just can't think of. There's like, I feel like listeners are like this, and I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I can't hear you.
Gotta get the headphones. They're all giving me the chat right now. It's like on the computer over here. Oh, that's a good one.
So let me know then.
I mean, when it's my turn, I'll let you know.
It's going back to.
Are you?
I don't think this would be realistic. Blitzball. I don't know how.
Oh,
like it'd be
shit.
super slow. Like if it were real life scuba diving, like throw the ball. Like
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
surprised you didn't say that.
I don't know
I
how.
know. Oh my god!
I don't know how that would work.
I played that game, that scene, only because of the scene where like he's waiting for like the stadium to fill with water. It was such an amazing scene to me. Now you're watching, you're like that shitty ass
It'd
graphic.
be a slow ass game. That's all I'm saying. How you can't even throw.
I don't know.
Well,
If,
it could be like, you know how, take it with a grain of salt, my analogy. You know how the Nerf footballs have the fins to add aerodynamics to it? Do something equivalent to that, but for water, where it propels it, keeps the stream going through water. I don't know.
I don't know if you guys recall playing the game, but
I never.
I do.
so towards the end of the game, like if you ever like continue to play blitzball, like your character started moving like crazy fast. Like they were just like maxed out.
3
stats
on
and
1,
stuff.
no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Seriously.
there was like one character you just pass the ball every time too, and he'll just like immediately like rush to the goalie and just toss it at him and like immediately beat him.
Okay.
But in the beginning, you move like a snail, dude. Like because you're like low stats, you're barely learning, and you're just moving so slow, and these guys are like torpedoing towards you. You're like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. That's what it would feel like in real life. It's just that slowness. That's a good one. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't come up with that, dude.
I would do Tron Cycles,
Shit.
and that would very much be VR.
Doesn't Tron have multiple games?
It does. One of them was like the Batman Beyond one,
That disc
where
one.
they throw the disc thing.
Yeah.
But I want to do. I feel like the VR would be perfect.
That
for
disc actually exists. That disc game exists
Really?
in VR. Yeah.
Okay, then. We're
the-
almost there.
I don't know if the Light Cycles ones, but that like, dude, that I played it like
Played what?
arcade wise.
Oh, yeah,
the,
yeah.
the disc, the lightsaber, the
Light cycle?
cycle,
It, like,
and I'm not fast.
imagine that though, like in first
I mean,
person, you're just like,
Snap! Just crash into the other guy's light.
or your own.
Oh yeah, Snake in real life, dude. I can't think of the other ones.
I would do
completely
a reality show, but it's a haunted house where a killer's out to get you,
Escape
and you
room.
had to survive. Like I don't
Dead
know,
by
like
Daylight?
yeah, you have to survive. Like, and there are like spots where it could insta kill you. Well, it won't kill you, he'll
Like
grab you,
traps,
and you're like,
yeah.
oh shit, he got me. Like, damn, like it's like a haunted house. Like
Oh my
survive the
God,
house,
We're
the
going
kill,
out into like video game world.
survive the
Hey,
killer.
real
I know.
esports, fictional esports.
Reality TV show, Survivor.
Okay, I got one. I want to take a video game now, and turn it into a reality let's say 20 years, 25 years. I want people to build these super safe, durable vehicles and have this giant arena. And these vehicles hit a giant ball and fucking propel in all these different. I want Rocket League
as soon as
in
you
real
said the
life.
arena, I was like, "This is Rocket League."
I want that.
Dude,
That would be cool.
Have jets just.
Do that airship
I feel like there has to be some type of like anti-gravity involved though, because like
I don't know.
there are some moves in there where like you're just like floating.
just propulsion.
At least the ball, like it's got to be lighter. It's like almost like a balloon.
We'll figure it out in 25 years.
Like, they could do it now in drone or
They
VR.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying like I want a person. I want like pod racing. I
Yeah.
want someone in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Like it takes balls to get in that fucking thing.
I want to be rattled when I fall on the ground.
You're
from
like, this person
from
is
that
not.
crazy ass.
He's not stable.
No, I can't think of another.
Death Race. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I mean, we're going that way. Let's do red line.
no I'm just kidding.
Shit.
Let's go.
I'm down. Just stretch the reality of time.
That's all I can think of.
Yeah. If we miss some, let us know.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of like fictional
Yeah,
sports.
dude. Yeah. Yeah,
But like, some of those, like the Rocket League one, I would love to watch. I'd hope that it's safe. Like I'd want safety to be the like all of these. I don't want anyone's lives. Like I know in the actual sport, in the films and stuff they're from, people can die. I wouldn't want that to be
I feel
an actuality.
like
We're not
safest
gladiator.
you could possibly be is obviously make the car safe, but then when you go inside, they just fill it with foam.
Yeah, like
and
Demolition
just,
Man.
and,
Or
like,
real
you
steel. Robot boxing.
Megaloboxing, dude.
Just take Real Steel to the next level and make it Pacific Rim. Just like have them
Ooh,
fight.
kaiju.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Sync up.
You still haven't watched Megalo boxing, I'm assuming. That could be a reality, dude. Like, because it's literally like just an
Prosthetics and stuff?
enhancement. Yeah, it's like an enhancement, like shoulder, like to arm thing. So they just punch a lot harder. Easily done.
Crazy
The
stuff. dude.
Athletic State Commission won't pass it.
Unless everyone's involved with it having the suit on. So those are good. Yeah. You want to move on to the next one?
Sure. I can't wait till I see some of these in colleges. That's usually where they start first.
I've been super addicted to a battle royale game called Tetris 99. I was kidding.
Make a character.
That game's good too, but Apex Legends.
Oh yeah,
and,
you playing more?
I've been playing a lot. I was like, I'm only gonna play this once a week, and I've broken it already.
How late did you start?
Well, because you found like some good buddies to play with, though, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
I played till 4 in the morning.
Fuck.
I had to wake up at 8
And
the
just,
next day.
and only
And
think
just
about
be
winning
death.
another.
I was deadly tired today.
You're in traffic. You're like, where are we dropping, boys?
So
ping traffic.
I should break down the characters. So
Wasn't
there's
it
like
BQ?
different characters that do different abilities.
Okay. How many total characters right now are there?
I think there's 8.
Okay.
One's a soldier, basic soldier, healer, a scout, dimension traveler, like makes portals. So if you guys were to, one guy does like makes copies of himself, which is kind of cool. If you guys can design a character, what class should they add? They're going to add more classes. But
So is the ranger essentially like a sniper?
he can grapple to like places and like,
Okay, so
look
you
at
can get,
stuff.
like, good-
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
think that anyone's like weapon dependent.
And
Yeah.
he can like there's these access points. He can find the next circle.
Oh,
so
shit.
he's like
Oh, so like he hacks and it
he's
tells
a
him like
scout.
the circle's going to be
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So one of mine was a throwback to what Respawn is basing this world in, which is Titanfall. So I'd want a Titanfall pilot to be a character, and what I would do is I'd make them very fragile, or more fragile than like some of the bulkier
average,
character,
yeah.
or this like a standard default character or something, or not default, but like the ranger or something, like someone who's like normal size. And I would make them a little bit weaker so they don't take as much hits to die, but they can wall run anything. Like they just fucking run. Like as long as there's surfaces and as long as they're capable, they can wall run whatever. Because I remember that was a big part of Titanfall was that mobility.
Yeah.
And it was insane how many
So
walls.
there's no one that can grapple to a wall.
There's a guy that can grapple, but he can't like run along a
can't,
wall
like,
for like.
I
more
guess
than,
what I meant like grapple is like I would think like Ninja Gaiden, where he's able to like just like kind of grapple and run.
Everyone can climb just a certain extent, but he's talking about like side
full on
running.
like I'm turning the side of a wall, we'll keep running,
Gotcha.
go up this, anything. I want that mobility for this character, but they're weak.
Why you feel like it's OP to have that ability to run?
I think it
So
was
certain characters also have smaller, bigger hitboxes in this game too.
Yeah.
So,
But like it's kind of like it feels like it goes along.
so he
like,
should have a small hitbox.
one character.
Yeah, that'd be good.
One character like the Wraith, I think is the one that you run. They're supposed to be like mobile. They're like kind of like an assassin type creature. So I would have feel that they would have like a smaller hitbox because they're supposed to be like very sneaky, very small, as opposed to like some dude that's a freaking tank and it's just like you shoot anywhere in the map and you end up hitting him.
I feel like this character could be fun because it really leans into. One of the cool things about this game is how you can just glide and slide.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's Respawn has done that in the Titanfall games and then in this. And this would just be very much in that vibe, but like there would be a con to it. Like I want it to be balanced.
Is there any characters that deal with defense, like drop shields or
There's,
anything like that?
there's a shield
Samoan
character.
guy?
Yeah.
He can like drop a Sentinel would in Destiny, an overshield to protect a
That's
spot.
exactly
He has
what I
a
was gonna
small
say,
shield.
so not him then. I still don't have one. You can come up with your character.
I was thinking of Team Fortress, the spy.
Oh,
Or he
I
could
got
cheat.
one.
He could like just trick you, but then I'm like, okay, let's not do that. So I'm thinking a dude that's like nature based. So he could like do this bamboozle where smoke comes out and he could turn into a rock, like or
and just
something.
hide
Yeah,
in plain
hide.
sight?
Yeah, he could just. I don't know. I feel like he'll be broken, but like there's got to be a crazy long. That's his ultimate. He turns into a rock or like.
I think what would be
against the wall.
funny is like so
He
the
turns
rock.
into a loot box is what his ultimate should be.
Oh, and he gotcha. Trick. That would be actually pretty damn good.
Oh, you mean like the
A
drop,
chest.
the
yeah.
chest drops?
He would
Okay.
be like a really nice looking chest, like not a rare drop or something.
That would actually be good. Or you could
like the only way you can tell.
chests.
So
is
that's
if
what
you
my
see-
second thing was a trap setter. Like I would want to have it be like that could be one of them where it's a loot box, a fake one,
Yeah.
or something. And another one would be like, okay, let's say I know people are going to come to this spot to loot, so I'm going to set a tripwire. I'm going to set a bear trap, like a bear trap style thing, or something to like or something that like hurts them but it wounds them, so I can track them. I think those would be cool.
Does anyone drop torrents?
No one
There you
does.
go.
There
Boom.
isn't.
Engineer, dude. Karosh in the game.
Let's go. Where are we dropping?
No,
That'd be
what,
cool.
what I was thinking was there is in Team Fortress there's the pyro. No, not the pyro. There's
Demolition Man, the grenade.
Yeah, the grenade guy. Yeah. So something like that where he just throws grenades out.
Well, the thing is, I feel like
but
I would
it-
have that be tied to an ability.
It would be like very small radius explosions. So like it almost has to touch you as opposed to just like he throws it in a room and everything in the room's getting damaged. Like it would have to be like a very like enclosed explosion where like unless the canister actually hit the person, it's not going to damage them from the explosion or something like that. Because obviously like I feel like it's OP if it's just like the size of a regular grenade. He's just spamming it like left and right and just hitting everyone there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a little OP. So it'd be like, very defined explosion, not a crazy ass grenade, essentially. So then it's
yeah,
not
I feel like we
sure.
could draw a lot of inspiration from Team Fortress and from Overwatch are the two main ones I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm still thinking of a guy kind of like Ninja Gaiden, like Ryu, where he's just like able to wall run, but like you said, you wanted like the
Time pilot.
since it's already in the they already kind of exist essentially
no, it doesn't exist.
within the universe.
Oh yeah. They could make it through that. Yeah.
Like he could essentially like a pilot could make it into this game. They could be like, here's a new character, a Titan pilot. That'd be really cool. Actually.
Maybe someone that could do like surveillance stuff. So like you could set up like watch spots. They could lean more into the scouting side of things. But I don't
put
know.
like a camera in a room, just see if anyone runs.
Like they could cycle through like 2 or 3 cameras that they set up or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, radar detectors or something.
Well, there is like a dude who can like kind of scan the area he's in or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's the same as like dropping cameras though. Like I feel like there should be like a kind of a drone specialist or something.
That could fall into the engineer thing where it's like you set up a turret and like if it goes off in the area you get pinged. That could be cool. Like this alert, this has gone off. Enemy has taken out this turret 1 or something.
Yeah, and then going along the lines of, because you were talking about someone setting traps, but like a saboteur where he's able to like rig things, you know, like he's able to rig like you said there's the guy the one who's able to hack into a computer to view the thing. So he's able to like hack like maybe 2 max machines. Like if he hacks another one, it like cancels one of the ones he's already hacked. So if someone goes in to hack it and see where the zone's gonna drop, since it's hacked, it causes damage to the guy instead of actually like being able to use to be hacked. That'd be pretty cool. So he just like sets it up. So if he gets to a chest first, he's able to hack it. And so if someone goes to pick up the chest, it does damage to them rather than being able to pick it up or something.
I would have maybe, I don't know how to identify them, but it would be someone who could take loot and make better loot out of it. So if they had a crafter or a forger or something.
There's a character, the medic, she can drop loot boxes. Like this, the only way to get legendaries from these loot boxes. Her ultimate is to drop a loot box.
What?
Kind of OP.
Okay.
Because you just keep on feeding her these things that boosts up her ultimates.
Yeah. And so she can do another one.
Yeah.
Well, like what I was thinking of, like if you come across like 3 mods that are pointless to you, or two weapons or
Combine
something,
them, make
you could start be like, instead of this, I want to. This combination would maybe grant me a random one between these 4 types of things. So they could like be like, I'm looking for, like their teammates could call ping and be like, whoa, we found a submachine gun over here. I'm like, that's what I need. I can craft it. I made something cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or
like,
a consumable.
What's cool about this game is weapons are even. It's the attachments that are the RNG of it. So yeah, if he can make attachments, he or she.
Yeah.
Well, I would do some cool.
Because the weapons are pretty even. They are even.
And then she like essentially like every weapon that people don't want, like let's say like everyone already has a Mozambique, the greatest weapon there is, and she's like, they're like, we don't need more of these. She can pick up the extras and like break them down into
a
material.
basic part of her ability could be, or this character could be, if you take like you could do combos where if you do a standard forge or combination, you can like generate or forge shields or med kits. And so you'd be like, okay, I can regularly generate, so we're always so that would incline people to be like, you're not necessarily a medic, but you're a supply creator if we need it. So they could make ammo, but it costs them. So maybe they're not like the most well equipped in terms of their weapons. It costs them their weapons, but they're able to provide for a team, and they prove maybe a role in that sense. So that could be cool.
I would do the ultimate character, just always calls in airstrikes. Just all the time.
The ultimate character will call in a Titan.
No, Mozambique's.
Mozambique.
Made of both.
Mozambique. It's dual wielding.
It's raining Mozambique.
Yeah. I'm curious what they're going to do. It should be fun.
I know they're
the
doing...
battle pass is expensive.
How much?
It's $30.
For a year?
No.
For how long?
For a season? I don't know how long this
season, which would be like 3 to 4
Well, how
months,
much is a Fortnite battle? 24?
10?
There's a premium one, though.
It's...
Is there a premium?
Yeah, there was a $25 one. I remember that one being like one.
They've done a package deal where you get like a ton of silver or like the
Coins.
The currency essentially, and then it comes
V-Bucks.
with like a skin and like a V-Bucks, and then it comes with like a skin and a thing. That's the only thing I've seen that's $25. I know it's I remember it being like you can't buy the cheapest V-Bucks to buy
The battle pass.
The battle pass. You have to buy the next one up, which is technically like over $10, I think.
Battle pass is 10 or 15, maybe.
I think it's 15, but they don't have a $15.
Yeah.
So you have to buy literally $24 or $20 worth of V-Bucks. So technically, you're paying $20.
Dude, weapon skins are expensive in that game. Fuck.
They did something crazy. I don't even know if
Broke
we should talk about
records?
because it's not. No, they're doing a challenge up until February 27th. If you do all these challenges, you get next season for free.
Oh, Fortnite is.
Fortnite, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I
They're
know
trying to.
my sister's all over that.
I mean, they're trying to
like 2
compete,
challenges away.
man. Because
They're both, I think, doing well.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I mean, I think
competition helps.
I'm pretty sure they're seeing like the amount that are leaving. I wouldn't say it's like a crazy amount, but they're worried that like if they leave this like wound, it'll keep bleeding. You know, like they're trying to like put a stop to that. Yeah, definitely.
that should be my next topic. What can Fortnite do to save itself? Tune in next week.
Thanos comes back.
I think
guys
they
miss
are
me?
Big
bringing.
Chungus.
They brought something back. They brought a weapon, a sword. I think it was supposedly like super OP, and they brought it back. But that was
Okay. All right, my topic.
let's do it.
This one's dedicated to Reggie. Thank you for all your years.
All right, guys, we're quitting.
Bowser's in
Yes, sir.
control now. Shout outs to Bowser.
Doug Bowser.
I got really close. Well, the closest I've ever seen him was VGA's.
With the love. Ding, 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 ding.
Cool guy. From all the stuff we've seen him online and everything.
From seeing him.
Yeah, from seeing him from 10 feet away. I was like,
Cool guy.
He looks like a cool guy. Yeah, he's retired as of the recording day. And he said a nice little sweet thing.
Oh, so it's like he's done like as of right now.
I believe so.
Yeah, he's done.
Shit.
I'm
I
sure there's
thought-
some transition stuff, but he made it public like, I am officially out.
Oh,
This person's
I thought it
officially
was
in.
just like an announcement, like, "Hey, I'm out next week" or something like that.
Why would-
I haven't even seen it.
Well, then,
I
go see it.
I guess so.
Well, DLC.
Credit roll.
Yeah.
No, but after, so we recorded early last week, largely because of me. But on the day of our usual recording day, a Nintendo Direct was made, and there was quite a bit of news, and I wanted to talk about that news and discuss it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through some of the announcements and share our thoughts, and that's my
it.
topic.
Yeah.
So it starts right off. It had, I know this one. So the list I gave you guys isn't in order,
Yes.
but the first one on the list was the first thing on there, and it was Super Mario Maker, not ported, but Super Mario Maker 2 is in there. Got thoughts? Talk to me. Do you guys
I'm
care?
just not- yeah, like that one isn't very interesting to me.
Did you guys feel like there was I remember, at least for me, there was a strong YouTube, Twitch community around it, and I'm wondering if it'll revitalize. Because I remember seeing like some cool challenges and all sorts of things. I wonder if this will like work more closely with like sharing content.
So I don't know if you guys know, in order for you to upload a level, you
have
actually
to
have to
beat it.
pass it. So, dude, that's cr-
Do you guys? So you're not interested? Have you ever played it?
Because I never the one previous was on the Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never even played it. I saw like insane levels, but I'm like, that's so far out of my league. Like, I would immediately be turned off if like I'm playing one of these levels. Obviously, that's not
Sure.
meant for me. Like
Well,
that
the cool
level
thing
of
was
difficulty.
when they ported it to the 3DS, they made a base part where it's like, here's 100 levels that we've created. What is this?
If you want to use this list, I think it goes in actual.
Oh,
order.
okay, cool. Yeah. You text that to me?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't want to take up your phone.
You're good.
But one of the cool things I remember the 3DS one did was it had 100 levels or something where it's like, these are de facto levels of like, if you want a campaign, this is that. So it's just a bunch of custom levels, but they're like approachable. But they were creative. And I was like, okay, that's cool. For someone who doesn't want to take the crazy challenges, you have something. But another thing they could do, I think, that to like help foster a community is have a better sort of what do they call it? Curation,
Yeah.
setup, layout, whatever you want,
They need-
interface.
They need to integrate Twitch into it somehow. Like,
I don't think it's
into
happening.
yeah, I know, but
I mean, I would hope so. That'd be cool. That would be really cool stuff. But even if they just have it where it's like, this is
Like-
easier to share a code for your Twitch viewers.
like Dead
or-
Cells, where you could fuck over the guide. Like,
That'd be cool.
people could like be piranha plants trying to shoot
oh
at
my
you.
god, that'd be fucking crazy.
I'm the piranha plant.
Yeah, I'm interested. I hope it has that feature where it's like a base, like here's X number of levels. And I'm also hoping that they do carry over levels made,
Oh.
so that nothing is lost and people don't have to like go through everything again. Okay.
If I was into building stuff, levels like that, I would like even dreams. Like, I mean, it looks cool. I want to buy it, but I'm not gonna build
Yeah,
stuff.
it's an audience. I remember what's it called, Sackboy.
But
What are those games? The Sackboy games?
Little Big
Little
Planet.
Big Planet. People love making all kinds of.
But like these types of games are like good for future game makers. Like if your passion is level design and making games, dude, like that's
And I love seeing that happen is crazy. I know there's two games journalists that would challenge each other. It's like 1 week, one of them has to play the other person's level.
That's
and then
cool.
the other week, the other guy had to play, and it was like an infuriating challenge that they would bring each other. So next up, they did a quick update on Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I think they gave a date, and they showed some more footage of the game.
Now that's not like a free MMO type
No,
game,
no,
like the
no.
online.
Do you remember Ultimate Alliance?
X-Men Legends
1 and 2 and X-Men Legends?
To be honest with you, I'm not familiar with that franchise. I thought because I feel like there's so many of these
there are.
Marvel games. I thought it was like the free to play online.
They're
one of
fun
these.
So
co-op.
they were big in the Xbox 360, PS3 days where it was like 4-player co-op on one screen,
Diablo.
top down, kind of Diablo
Yes.
style.
Shit.
Yes.
And what it started with what Jeng was saying. X-Men Legends was the one. They were doing X-Men characters, Dungeons, Siege, Diablo style. Then they were like, let's just do Marvel, and so they did the Marvel 1, Ultimate Alliance 1, and then Ultimate Alliance 2. And I remember Ultimate Alliance 2 very fondly because one of my buddies was like, let's get it for PS3. So we went we picked it up. One of us bought it. We pitched in. And we literally, from 5 p.m. till 5 a.m., just played.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck, there's another side to the story. I'm good. We're done. But it was so much fun because you would do combos off each other. Like,
So it wasn't on like you couldn't do online with other people.
I'm sure this will have some online feature, but
hopefully.
I think it's meant for couch co-op.
okay.
But
I mean, and it is on a portable system now, so you even though someone buys it, you can take it. Yeah.
I hope they have a feature where it's like if one person owns it, you could all play.
Hell yeah.
That would be good. That'd be smart on their side. Next up, we got Box Boy and Box Girl. Did you guys ever play the Box Boy game?
So I was always interested in those because there was a similar one. I don't know if this was the same, if it's based off the same thing, but on the calculator, the Texas Instrument graphing calculator.
Oh, yeah.
had a
Mario Bros.
a box game or a Box Bros game where you had to like fill up the path because it was blocking. It was like there was holes, there was missing blocks, and you couldn't run to the other end, and you would have to like fill up the holes, and you can walk to the other end. Was always really interesting, and I'm interested in picking this one up for the Switch.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of it on the 3DS. It's got many sequels, but then seeing that this one has a co-op mode as well, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's not an indie.
It is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just
I
gotten,
might pick
like-
it up.
It's one of the more prominent indies.
Yeah.
Then they did. This was dumb. I think they did the hey, Alt Smash they're doing like their next big update for spring soon.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll tell you more about it later. Bye. I was like, why did you even bother?
Head nod.
But I guess yeah. They did show like they do have it showed like a slow pan up of Joker, and they're like, there's going to be content, and they said it's going to come out sometime before April. So between now and April, there could be some more news.
Yeah.
Then they did Captain Toad.
Shout out to Warrior 64, Captain Todd.
What?
He misspelled it and put Captain Todd. He's like, Captain Todd being released. And everyone's like, you misspelled it. And he's like, oh, let me fix that. Capitan Todd. He like misspelled Captain. It's funny. He was going with it.
Nice. That's good. But yeah, it's nothing new, no new game. But what they did was they actually gave free update where you can play co-op now, which is something I've been wanting to do with Kate and I. Because we would just pass the controller back and forth. It was fun, but like you both want to play,
right?
And now they've reoriented all the levels to allow for two people to go through the puzzles, and then they said that there's some DLC coming soon that you pay for some additional puzzles.
So essentially, they're saying is they'll do see you later. Is what
I didn't want to put the words out there, but then there was an update on Bloodstain.
Finally.
Yeah. And it's funny because right after the direct, I got an email from the Kickstart that I've been swearing. It's like, hey, Bloodstain update. I'm like, yeah, I got it. But it looks cool. I mean, I heard that they did like a little mini small game of it, or like a I don't know, a sampling of like another project they had worked on that relates to this, and that was really well received. So I'm interested. Then we got some Dragon Quest.
Yeah, it was the Builders 2, I think.
Yeah, I'm
Dragon
hyped for
Quest.
this.
Yeah?
I played the Dragon Quest Builders on Vita, and I was only on the first world, but it was just I've never liked Minecraft, and this made me like that because that style of game because it had a quest system, it had the RPG elements that I would need. Like Minecraft is like you said with Little Big Planet and Mario Maker, it's just too broad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need a direction.
Yeah.
And Dragon Quest Builder gave me like, here's a layout. Like it had lines of like where I need to fill in for a basic room.
Yeah.
Anything else I wanted to do in that room, I could. But at least I knew I made a basic room.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing that I hope they do, and it's already been in Japan for a year, I think. But it's got co-op, and I hope that it has what the first one had was every new level you went to, you had to start from scratch. I hope it has it where it's just like you just keep adding on, because it kind of is like, oh, I gotta start over.
At least that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Did you guys have any interest in builders?
Probably not.
No.
Same reason.
I got interested in the first one. I think it was our buddy Andrew.
Yeah,
who
him and Christine played.
Yeah, they played it quite a bit, and I got really interested in it, but just never found time. And I think since I haven't played the first one, I probably won't be playing.
I don't think it's too like story driven, but it adds like just a quest system.
Yeah.
It's like build these 3 things, and you go searching for those.
Yeah.
Then we got a Sum game, Disney themed. I never knew that's called Sum. That I've always seen my friends play it on their phone. They're just like swiggling their fingers. I'm like, what the? I don't know what that is.
I thought it was Tsum, but I guess
it's one or the other.
I think you're right. I think
I
you're
might
right.
be wrong.
Tsum.
And this is a game that I'm just going to refer to as Star Fox. Because
Starlink.
it's essentially Star Fox on the Switch version. Because they've just heavily leaned into all the Star Fox element of it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, by the way, with this one, there's more Star Fox stuff. So I'm just like, all right, fine. Did you guys care? Or
Nah.
Nah, I wasn't gonna pick it up. I was so close to picking it. It was like a dry period where I was like, I don't have anything new to play. And even though I have games I haven't even touched, so, you want to get something new.
You just want the new thing.
I was so close to getting it. And I read a thing where it was like, if you're gonna get it, just don't get the Switch version. It's like literally what it was saying.
What?
It's like,
Why?
because there's like a PS4 version. They were just saying like it just wasn't as good as compared to like frame rate wise and all that, as good as like a PS4.
But the whole incentive of it for me is that I could play as Star Fox because it is a Star Fox.
And that's what Nintendo has on it, is they have the Star Fox on it. Yeah.
But the SNES Classic, replayed Star Fox, man, it's bad. It hasn't aged well at all.
Wait, Star Fox?
The original one.
What's the original,
yeah.
not the
Dude,
not the N64 one.
Yeah. And then I
You
bought it
played
for Star Fox 2. That was even worse, dude.
There's a reason it was on. Reggie's like, nah.
But Star Fox DS and 64 was good.
Those were
The DS ones.
And then Rune Factory.
How was the DS one? Was it stylus based?
I
'Cause
don't
I
remember.
remember
I
there was
never
a few
played
games where it
online. I never played like versus people. But
Oh, there was a versus.
yeah, and it would record your camera. You could see the guy's face. Like,
Oh shit.
Oh,
dude, it was
wow.
fucking dope. But
You
I
never
never
played
played it.
You're too
online.
I
Or-
just thought it was a remake of
I
the
don't know how-
story, but on the DS. Like how Super Mario 64 was made for the 3DS, and there was like you could do all this stuff. So it was additional stuff.
Like people like fuck you.
Damn. Okay. Then we got a few JRPGs. We got Rune Factory 4.
If my understanding, Rune Factory wasn't it like or isn't it like shoot, what's the one where you gather resources and kind of build your town? Essentially,
Stardew?
Yeah, like Stardew.
Harvest Moon?
Yeah, like Harvest. I forget what kind of genre that's called.
Okay.
Farming simulator.
Yeah, something like that.
I thought it was that one.
Okay, it might be. I don't know. I'm just going based on the aesthetic
Okay.
of the trailer. When I saw it,
Yeah.
It gave me JRPG vibes.
After that, it's Oni Naki.
Sure.
Which I'm interested. Like the way that they put it here, it's like slay monsters, save souls, and then wield their power.
Oh,
That
Dark
looks-
Souls, huh?
Yeah, it sounds interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we had Yoshi's
Crafted World.
Crafted World.
I'm
yeah.
kind of. So the demo is out the day of the direct, and so I downloaded it,
It looks cool.
and it's not bad. And it's one of the guys that you guys have mentioned,
Trihex.
He's like prepping to speedrun it, and I was
Yep.
like, sweet.
Well, Trihex, you said like on his downtime, or like not his downtime, but he doesn't have a big game. He'll play Yoshi's, right?
He hasn't in a while. He's been doing He's been doing Kingdom Hearts 3.
That was his main game.
Yeah.
It became a variety.
That's how he became big.
Yeah.
And then now he did a lot of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I've seen him talking about that. Then he does chatting and podcasting.
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is what he's currently doing. But yeah, he tends to just go back to that when he's like, okay, let's compete.
I guess that's what I meant. Like either he started it or it like goes back to it
Yeah.
eventually. Like that's his thing.
And then let's just talk about the best one on the list right now.
Where we dropping, boys?
No one saw this coming. I don't care who you are.
I
You
know,
can't
dude.
say you called this like anywhere on the
Except
internet.
one dude.
There's a
called
dude
it.
from a year ago.
There's a
who
one.
I don't
There's
believe
one.
it.
No, he retweeted his.
It was Reggie. He was just like,
he reposted his tweet
This is
from a
bank
year
account
ago.
or whatever.
or 2 years ago.
Tetris 99.
It should have been
Battle Royale-
69. No, they messed up.
The Battle Royale game we've all been waiting for.
69 players.
Damn.
everyone wins.
The first thing when I told one of my coworker buddies, he was like, Tetris is a fighting game. I was like,
Got him.
I'm just saying.
Don't.
I mean, you attack.
But I'm just saying.
I love this game.
Argument for everything.
So it was available the day it came out. So like the ridiculous news, I was just like, what? I was happy because I was like, more Tetris.
Out
Great.
now, yeah.
I love another iteration of Tetris.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Tetris games.
VR,
At Effect.
Effect, Puyo Puyo. Now 99.
Yeah, dude.
I bought a fucking Nintendo subscription
Service?
annual
Just for
service thing for
Hey, you
this.
can play Zelda 2 on there. All those NES.
Oh
and
yeah, I
SNES
had to
games.
download that.
Yeah.
But-
You can get the Japanese one service you can download as well with the Japanese account, and they have separate games.
Oh shit.
So just to make sure, if I buy the subscription now, I can get all the games from before that?
Yeah,
Yes.
everything
Oh, okay.
from then on is available.
yeah.
It's just they keep adding.
Okay.
As I understand it.
I thought like
It's not
when
like
they
Netflix.
add, it goes, yeah, the
The
previous
Blaster
one goes.
Master's on there. Fucking underrated.
But yeah, Tetris 99. So it's pros and cons. Pro, amazing game, I think. It's
I lost sleep because of that too. I was like,
Katie was like, you need to turn that volume off. I can't like go to sleep with that.
You're
Da-da-da-da. I'm like, fuck, it's so good.
but you
I
needed
put
to
the
know
headphones
that.
on. I was like, I'm lost.
Oh, the
new ones?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all I want to hear. Oh, get up to the base. And okay, what's the best you guys have done? Have you played it?
I haven't
Okay.
played it.
Numero uno.
Finally. How long did it take?
I mean, it took 2-3 days, but then as I was
Non-stop
playing,
things.
people were getting better. Like first day easy, top 10, top 5, top 3 easy, and then like second day, oh shit, top 10. I can hit top 10, but sometimes I get murdered real bad, dude. Early.
Depends on targeting. I think that's a big factor in how people play. I got I got number 2, I should say, 2 or 3 times. But there was one time I thought I got one. I was like, just fucking survive. Just survive. And I die and I look at the other player. He's like, nothing is on his thing. I'm like, man, he's a pro. Whoever they are, they're a pro.
You never had.
But
me.
But
I was playing Vin Diesel.
the guy that we're talking about that's really good, like I'm so focused on myself. He looks at people who
I don't
can
know
kill.
how.
I don't know how he does that.
And-
And he's like, this guy's ready to die. I'm gonna attack him. I was like, how the fuck?
Yeah, so one of the cool things, like, at first
Because you stay
glance,
focused on your game.
so
right?
what happens is the game's loading, you're starting a match, and all of a sudden you have your main screen in the center, your line or whatever, and then all around it are tiny little ones everywhere, and that's the 99 other players.
Those are other players.
And then before the game starts, a little like a D-pad at the top shows up, and it says it determines how you want to dump your excess, your
Units,
lines
Yeah.
to other players. And then there's random, there's
Badges.
which the badge leader is the one it targets who has the most kills.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
based-
so. Yeah.
And then I forget there's
KOs.
So people who have got the most kills.
And
and then the
attackers,
last
people
one is
attacking
yeah.
you.
So anyone who's got a line that's
If they're
drawn
attacking
to
you're
you,
attacking them.
you can choose to be like, I want to attack them back. So anyone that's attacking me, it's going to dump back to them.
Gotcha.
And that can factor into like, so the last one is you can manually pick someone. And so when you're saying that, I've seen some people like this guy, and I'm like, how do you even like,
Dun, 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 dun,
like it's like 2 eyes. It's just like,
Steve Buscemi and Mr. Deeds.
but it's so fun to watch and so fun to play. Like it starts slow too, but once you hit top 50, music kicks in and it speeds up. Top 10, you just like drop in. Top 5, it's
shit.
fucking speed run.
It's funny because like I stream it and I don't feel comfortable streaming Battle Royale, but this game I am fucking confident in. And people are like, yo, you're fucking
Out of retirement,
like-
baby.
But I noticed I haven't played Tetris in a while, so Pro Controller sucks, dude.
I kind of so the thing that took me a while to get used to, and I was like, "Why am I sucking? I'm not this bad." I was rotating a one
wrong
way,
opposite way.
and I was like, "Why? This doesn't feel right." And I was like, "Wait, I'm rotating a different way that I'm used to."
Yeah.
And I started rotating the way I'm used to. I was like, "Boom, boom, 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 boom." Da, 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 da.
He's in the Matrix. I know Kung Fu.
I don't know. It's fun, but it is only online and only with you can't like. One of my friends was like, "I just want a Tetris game with nothing else. Like, I just want to play on my own."
Tetris Effect.
Just buy Tetris.
Well, on Switch.
Yeah, I know.
But I was like, yeah, you're probably better off with Puyo
Yeah,
because
yeah.
then you can choose how you want to play. But
So what's funny is
and then a lot of people were like, oh, it's free. I'm like, if you have the online service. That's always the caveat. It's like if you have the online service. And
I do think they should have done single player and this 99 mode on that same free game.
I think though
that,
it's like a cool like headline of
Yeah.
like this is what you get. Like the no
Yeah.
complication. Like it literally is no complications. It's just like drop options for some few things and maybe help.
I haven't,
Maybe they'll add on stuff.
I haven't picked it up because I'm like I'm not that great. Like I know I'm not that great at this at Tetris in general.
You get better though.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Once you
Obviously
start
playing,
you
like
get-
I'll kind of get used to it. But I have coworkers where I mentioned it to her. And I'm like, yeah, it's free, and she's like, oh, and she's like, I downloaded it on her lunch, and like right after lunch, she calls and she's like, I got 15th place. I'm like, holy shit, dude, that's
It
really
feels good.
Yeah.
Even
No,
like,
it doesn't. You gotta win.
I mean,
fucking
no, but like when you first start, you're like, holy shit, I was 30 out of 100.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
true.
And you're like,
That's true.
okay.
Or you're like, I got 9 KOs. What the?
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
I got T-spinned. I'm okay with
I took
this.
out 10% of the competition right now.
And it's like these little milestones that you hit. You're like, all right.
That's the best feeling. Like KO. Like you just knock someone a KO, and they're attacking you, and you're attacking them back. Like fuck you, dude. Like,
Drop.
dude, I'm
Drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Go ahead.
It's harder to win in Tetris than Apex. It's so much easier to win in Apex, but dude, it is hard. There are killers, man. There are fucking killers.
I'm
street.
curious how it works when multiple people aim at one person. How does that work when it comes
You
to
get
dumping?
fucked. Yeah. There are games where I'm like, I'm playing the same as I did any other game. And all of a sudden, because what it does is it warns you, you have X number of lines coming your way. And when your screen blinks red, that means that if all these lines make it through,
You're dead.
you're in the shit zone.
Yeah.
Which is like you can see maybe 2 lines.
The best is when you
But-
come back.
Yeah, when you come back, those are amazing. But what you do is any lines you complete counteract that pile, and it
Yes.
sits there. So it starts like, it's gonna come, it's gonna, and then,
Oh, okay.
and so you get a chance to refute it
Kill some of
or
them,
take
yeah.
it, or dampen it at
Yeah.
least.
But it's not good to attack with Tetrises because it sends a single line, like whole
bunch
to
of
them.
them.
Yeah, so it's better to mix it up.
Yeah, so
like Tetris
when you have
line,
multiple
Tetris-
people, you'll have like one person sends you a big chunk, another person sends you a big chunk, and another person, and then those each get taken care of if you can
Counter.
them
Yeah.
separately,
Yeah.
not all as one. So that's what would happen if you've multiple people target you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Those things though, like I mean, we're going through the intricacies of it. Unless you're trying to go for that top 10, I don't think you need to worry about a lot of the, like, just play Tetris.
Yeah.
Like, the first top 50 part of it, like, before the game really starts, unless people are, like, out for blood, you're just playing against the computer. You're just like, okay, just build as you go. And then it starts heating up the fewer the competition gets.
Yeah.
And
To
that's
be,
where people are
to be honest, to be in top 10, it's good to have
a big pile.
Yeah,
so you
then
can
to
dump.
have a small pile.
Yeah.
Because then you could just fucking attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's fun. That was
It's
that was
addicting.
my, and it's crazy because the game came out and it's like it was on this direct.
It's addicting.
It's exactly how Apex happened.
Damn right.
Game's out right now. Just have at
skins.
it.
Change your fucking Tetris.
Battle passes, baby. Let's
Oh
go.
It
my
should just
God.
be like
Dances?
people in positions, just like someone like
The
as
T
a-
spins like
I gotta learn how to T-spin. Like,
I need to learn.
fuck.
All right, next up we got Dead by
Yeah,
Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. Holy crap, dude.
I don't think it looked good.
Yeah, I could see it.
Did you see
like
the
I
trailer?
saw it. Like the graphics wise, it was
It looked-
slimmed down.
It was like PS2,
yeah,
PS3.
It was slimmed down. Like there is no graphics in that thing.
I'm wondering if it's gonna have hiccups because of that, or if that was to prevent it.
I think it was to prevent it, but yeah, I still think it's gonna have hiccups because of it, regardless.
Did you have any thoughts on it? Jay?
Pass.
Then from the makers of Undertale, they brought a little sample of Deltarune.
Deltarune.
Yeah, Deltarune.
And I believe the first episode is out available
Free.
free.
99.
But he said the game Deltarune is far from ready. So who knows when that'll fully come
Yeah,
out.
fully come out.
But-
But and then I like on the very bottom, he's like, "But all the episodes are going money."
I need to play Undertale.
Undertale,
I
me
keep
too.
telling
I
myself.
own it. I have
it on Switch. I love that it's on Switch. That's
It's
awesome.
highly requested on my stream that I play that. Highly.
Then the new demo for Daemon Machina.
Yeah.
Looks cool. I downloaded the demo. I haven't played it yet, but it's like a mech game.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I'm really curious because I've always been a huge fan of mech games.
Zone Enders.
But Zone Enders right now is on sale for Steam, so I'm probably just going to pick that up.
I mean, the demo's free, so it's
Yeah.
always you could try it. Then some realistic racing shit. Like the headline literally says realistic racing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Switch.
I didn't get a Nintendo for realistic
Gran
racing.
Turismo?
It's courtesy of Grid Autosports.
Oh, whatever.
You're like, whatever.
I don't think I can speak for large people, large audience capacity. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
My words are failing me.
And then there was Hellblade.
That was a
Senua's
surprise.
Hellflies.
That was honestly a surprise. I like that it's portable because I think, from what I've heard, it has really good sound editing and
Yeah,
mixing.
the actress won like best
Voice acting, yeah.
Voice
yeah.
acting, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, in terms of like getting you into a scene, it's people have recommended wearing headphones
Yeah,
already
I
for
would say
consoles.
so.
So like having it on Switch, you put
Yeah,
headphones in,
would
you
definitely
play
say so.
portable.
Mhm.
They did a montage of a bunch of games that
that
were.
Astral Chain.
So this one I want to talk about. It's from Platinum Games,
Mm-hmm.
and they were showing it as like we have one more thing to show, and like they showed that, and it's like police cop, and it's like Platinum Games. Like, oh, what? Okay,
Doing.
and they've made a wide variety. So I was like, okay, I know they've done what's that? Vanquish. They've done
Vanquish. You told me to buy it.
Bayonetta. They've
Yes.
done a couple of Scalebound was in the works, didn't happen. So it's like a wide variety of like depending on which subsidiary of Platinum. And then as it's going through, it's saying the creatives involved in this one, and one of them was the director of Nier Automata.
Oh, shit.
And like right when it showed that, I was like,
Hideki Kamiya, my twin. he's making the. I'm gonna sneak into E3. I'm gonna do an E3 prank as Hideki Kamiya.
it's like all those people that cosplay as J.R. Martin or Joss Whedon. They're like, oh, when's the next book coming out?
What are you supposed to be?
So that is what's the biggest push for me of like this being interesting is that creative talent behind
Yeah.
it. I need to see more though before I pull the trigger on like the actual
Gotcha.
purchase, but it's got my attention.
I thought you were into it because you're like, I looked more into it, and it does this and this. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be.
It's
curious.
nothing gameplay wise, but it's like that whole he can get meta
Yeah.
and do some cool story stuff. I'm like, I'm interested. You got my attention. But it's like weird stuff where it's like you and your buddy cops, and you can control both the cops or something, and you have like a robot dog and some weird like techno future.
You damage people to capture them.
I don't.
That's
Yeah,
what it
it's
looks
like
like.
weird. It's
Yeah.
weird shit.
Sold.
You know what
And
else
then-
I'm sold on?
And then the second biggest news on this bad boy,
Oh, besides Tetris.
besides Tetris,
Yeah. If anything gives Tetris a run for its money, it's this one. And it's the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
The Game Boy Zelda.
Do you remember the commercial for that?
No.
It was a rap song.
What?
Yeah. Damn.
Man, I remember just seeing the game boxes for it where it was like the egg and everything and the DX and all that stuff. But like when they showed the gameplay, I'm like,
I was sold.
Tunic waited too long.
Yes.
Because I wanted to play Tunic as a Zelda like
Yeah.
fill for that top down sort of play.
But what tripped me out is like, dude, it's the exact same game from back in the day.
Is it though?
Well, okay, at least from what they
From
did,
what they've shown.
there's been comparisons. Dude, it shows like a fox character in the top corner in the new one, and it was there in the original.
Yeah,
it
it's
shows
like
the chomp
shot
dude.
by shot
Yeah,
comparisons.
exactly. And I was like, holy shit.
This fucking I still remember this fucking
Man,
commercial.
Nintendo had some of the best commercials. The Smash Bros. Commercial, that commercial. Man, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, man.
But
But-
people were like mad about the character, the look.
Who was
aesthetic.
mad?
I don't know. There's people.
No.
It was like Wind Waker mad.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool.
I saw people getting
not
angry.
At least the vibe I've been seeing, it's been like nothing but love. But I'm surprised. Like, okay,
It was
yeah.
on Twitter. Like I saw some hate.
Okay,
No, I saw people say like they were mad at the graphics essentially.
but you like it, right?
Yeah.
you like it.
yeah, hell yeah.
Insta-
See, for me, I think it's like how Link Between Worlds was very similar. Like it was shot by shot. I'm wondering if this is going to have some added stuff where it's like, hey, it's that, but more.
What I'm so glad about this is I haven't played Link's Awakening.
Neither have I.
Like I've like my starting games are essentially like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I did play the original Zelda, but that was like it wasn't the the game for me essentially. Yeah.
For me, God.
So this is like a remake that I can play with like
New
obviously
eyes.
yeah, exactly. So I'm extremely excited for this. Like I just feel like essentially Zelda just can't do wrong for
Link
me.
to the Past was mine.
Did you guys play Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons?
Yes.
No.
Those were my first
Yeah.
I beat a Zelda game.
Capcom, right?
Yeah. And
Game Boy Advance.
like those were those. No, it was Game Boy Color.
I played it on the. Oh, it
You
was
could,
color.
you could connect
Yeah,
Game
yeah.
Boy Color games, I think. on
No,
there.
it was on my color. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was Game Boy Color.
Because I got Ages, my friend got Seasons, and then if you saved the file and then put in the other one, you could get the secret.
Yeah,
ending.
the reason because I had the Game Boy Color, the blue see-through one, or like the purple, and then I also had Game Boy Advance, that purple see-through one.
Yeah.
So I always see those as one unit for myself.
Those are some good ones. Bring them back. Make us the Switch stuff.
I've essentially messed up my Switch doing that.
That's true. So did I. Never mind. Yeah, I'm stoked for this. This is fun.
Yeah,
That was a
dude.
fucking great note to end it on.
Yeah, and it's such a good way too, because like the
this
intro-
year.
Is it having multiplayer or no?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, they just showed the. So first I saw the animation. I'm like, okay, animation, nothing we know. Like that animation style looks like some JRPG
Yeah,
stuff. Or
It
something.
showed the egg, and I'm like Yoshi's Island.
And then when I saw Link, I was like, are they revealing the Netflix like a Link show?
Yeah.
And then it went to the game. I'm like, oh my god, like fucking nuts. I want to play this game so much. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is one I definitely will pick up. And then
This year,
they
man.
showed they're releasing a couple Final Fantasy games too.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
in
they
the
dropped-
montage, they
Yeah.
not the right one. I'll tell you that. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Tactics?
Final Fantasy 10.
Yeah.
Fucking blue ball on that bitch.
Wait, so it was what's coming? 7?
9 is
already
out.
dropped.
9 is out, and
For
then
a
they're
weird
like
price.
10 is coming.
then they're like 8 and 7 are coming.
10
I don't
is-
know.
10
is
is
10?
coming.
Yeah, in a previous one, they showed all the Final Fantasies that they're
Oh,
releasing.
you're right.
And
yeah.
they didn't do the one that they should, but almost 900 of them.
Tactics.
And to this day, I still haven't beaten 10, dude. I've gotten to the very end, because the very end, there's like a moment where you can like retrack and try to finish everything before you finish the game. I'm like, I want to get everyone's legendary weapon. And there's some insane things you got to do to get some of these weapons. And I haven't gotten a single.
Damn.
And then like PS3 or like essentially PS4 came out and all these other. And I'm like,
Moved on.
I just haven't gotten that far back to my systems.
Backwards compatibility. Look at our old episodes.
What's surprising is they didn't say anything about Animal Crossing. I was like, what? That's weird.
Pokemon, they didn't say anything about?
2019.
This
Yeah.
year.
I feel like, so based on this,
They're gonna pull a Tetris and be like, out now, Animal Crossing.
okay, so the last two E3s, Nintendo's been at. They've had some big, like, one game focus sort of thing. Smash was this past year, right?
Mm-hmm. And Breath of the Wild was 1 year.
Prior year. No, was it Breath of the Wild? Was it
Breath of
Odyssey?
the Wild
no, it
was-
was Odyssey last year.
Well, Breath of the Wild was for 1 year. They just focused on Breath
that
of the
was
Wild.
when Wii U was still around.
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
Wii U transitioning to launch of Switch. Then it was Odyssey. Then it was Smash. Yeah. I have a feeling. Okay, I don't know which way it'll go. Do you guys feel like it'll go Pokemon or it'll go Animal Crossing at E3?
I think it'll go Pokemon because they have another game in the works.
That's also a 2019.
I feel like Animal
Fall.
Crossing because Pokemon, they already released a recent game of it.
This is supposed to be
So-
next gen.
I
And
feel
Animal
like
Crossing is. It's been a while since the last game.
I feel like what makes the most sense to me is they'll make a direct that's exclusive to Pokemon or like emphasizes on Pokemon.
Pokemon Day is coming up.
And then they're gonna do a direct that emphasizes or focuses on.
But I'm
on
talking
Animal
about
Crossing.
E3, like if they're focusing on
That's
something.
tough. I mean, I would be inclined to say Pokemon more than anything else.
Okay. I could see them going either way. I feel like Pokemon's a big enough thing that they don't need to do that, and Animal Crossing could be something more displayable.
Or they might
something.
want to ride that wave they're still on, for Pokemon,
Possibly.
and just give out some more
Or
info.
Splatoon Battle Royale.
Oh, let's drop, boys. That's the battle royale I want.
I feel like this could be for another topic, but I do want like these announcements and releasing at the same moment kind of things to happen
Dude,
now.
what if
They've been doing it more.
Because
Like
Apex, you know,
Zelda
this
Battle Royale?
Link the
Four
four
links.
swords, the 4 swords.
Oh, brother, we talked about that Breath of the Wild. I forgot what episode we talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these and it's available now. VG, the Video Game Awards have been training me
But
for that.
someone
Like,
wasn't-
have
no,
my
no.
Wi-Fi on for my Switch.
Someone wasn't
Available
impressed.
tomorrow as soon as you
Cycle.
wake up.
Breath of the Wild cycle.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Yeah, I mean, this direct was impressive for me because but before this, it was what's Nintendo got this year?
Right.
Third party stuff coming. Animal Crossing, some point. Metroid's not happening.
Oh,
we don't know
yeah.
when now.
Yeah.
Whatever it was is now back to the drawing board. And then Pokemon. Outside of that, we didn't know. So I feel like this
Dude.
helped fill in a lot of gaps.
To be honest, Metroid Prime Battle Royale makes sense. It makes sense.
Battle Royale?
Yeah.
I don't know about a battle. I could see a.
Well, they had to have a multiplayer.
Yeah, I could
They-
see
they
they
had to
did
have-
it in the 3DS
Yeah,
Hunters.
yeah.
That was fun. I could see them doing a Switch.
Controls sucked, but yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the strapes. That was weird. That weird half angle, but whatever. Yeah, Nintendo likes to get weird.
Bowser.
Yeah.
That was it.
Hey, they made it unofficial, dude.
They
Yeah,
yeah.
they could retcon it anytime. I have to
Anytime,
say.
yeah. All right, that was my topic. So
Yeah.
what have you guys been up to this week?
I have 2 things. I watched Alita Battle Angel.
I didn't get to see it.
I loved it. I mean, I would have. So
I like how you say it. You're like,
I feel like every movie I watch, I'll be like, it was a fantastic movie. I recommend it. But I never give it criticism. The story, it had 2 elements. It had 2 things where I'm like the way they said it or the way it happened, it was it immediately kicked me out of the story. I'm just like,
Really?
This was it was kind of dumb the way they did it or whatever. But overall, just the concept, the idea, they did a good execution with the way the way it looked, the graphics essentially, fantastic. And then I ended up having to watch it in 3D.
what?
Because I was I want to watch it early morning, just to get out of the way. And I went to the movie theater. It was the earliest showing was 11, and we get there at 10:30. Theater's closed. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never seen a theater.
It's a weird
closed.
feeling.
Yeah, I was like, am I wrong here? And I had to recheck the time.
Is it a holiday?
I'm like, I guess we're early.
Twilight
so
Zone.
we had we went to get a sandwich before we went in, and so that first showing was a 3D version. Not disappointed, man. They've done a fantastic job with 3D. Holy shit, man.
I just don't like that I need to wear glasses.
I don't. It doesn't bother me.
You'll get the contacts eventually.
Game plants.
No, yeah, I think it's a fantastic job. They did.
But don't you have to wear them over the glasses?
Yeah, but
You're wearing
it
two
doesn't
sets of glasses?
it doesn't bother me.
Cyclops.
They did a good job. It doesn't
Okay.
normally if my glasses are too extended, it feels weird. It
Okay.
it even shows weird. It doesn't work that way.
What are you dropping, boys?
It doesn't work that way with the 3D
Okay.
glasses. I can have them further out. It doesn't actually affect how
Okay.
bad the viewage is. That also looks weird. Seeing through it and your eyes
You
even
should
look
stream
more
like that.
Where are we dropping, boys? That's gotta be upside down. Where are we dropping, boys? I can't even. Yeah,
Nope.
but
Would recommend
I recommend it. Yeah, I
to
love
everyone
it.
or because it's beginning
You have to be into the sci-fi stuff. You can't just I don't know. It is. I think it is specific to certain people. It's not just for everyone.
Did they explain her eyes?
I think they don't. But
Okay.
it seems like the concept is if you're an android, your eyes are like that.
All of them are like that. There were some that I saw in the trailers that were not.
They don't explain her. Actually, they explain other people that are similar to her, and those all have the big eyes.
Okay.
I can tell you that much. At least. So there are other people with big eyes, but they never say anything.
Because initially it comes across like, oh, it's because of an anime, but it's like no one else in this has big eyes. Whereas in the anime, everyone has big eyes because that's the art
I'm not gonna
style.
lie. At least me watching the movie, it kind of just started seeming like a normal thing. Like her eyes kind of just meshed into the world.
Normalizing anime eyes. People are gonna be like, "Can I get anime eyes?"
They don't seem that bad. Like
So the thing is, I was listening to someone on YouTube break this down. Originally, they were made a certain way, and they looked really off. And someone had shared this criticism with James Cameron. He's producing. Robert Rodriguez directed.
Yeah.
And James Cameron, and I guess his few people he knew had come across this sort of issue before. And what they did was I don't know exactly the nuances of what they did, but the reasoning behind it. But what they did was the dark part of the eye was too little, and there was a lot of white, and they made the eye look huge and like really like blew out of proportion.
Yeah.
All they didn't change the eye size to be smaller. They just made the black of the eye bigger, and it looked and like they show them side by side, and the one with the bigger black eye looked
which is
more
the one
normal,
that got
which is what
released.
is in the film, and it made like a huge difference. It wasn't even that big of a like looking at them side by side. It's like not that much of a change, but it like there's enough of a belief. It like takes that disconnect, and you're like, this isn't real.
Yeah, watching the movie, it kind of just fades into like it seems almost normal for her at that point. Like watching the movie, my sister, I took my little sister with me. She loved it. She liked it a lot. She was surprised because. She watched it and she doesn't like watch too many movies, so she felt like this was a movie that's gonna get big and people will talk about. And she's like, "Yeah, no one asked me if I watched it or anything." It's cool, and so I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably it."
I think I was annoyed because some critics were like projecting that it's gonna do poorly, and I saw some creative people like, "Why are you shitting on this? Like it's out, like it's not even out, and you're just like dumping on it. Like fuck off." Like people are trying to create new things, and it's not a new thing. It's an adaptation of a manga. So I was like, I like Robert Rodriguez.
What's funny too is I heard it was an adaptation. I thought it was a book. So I told my little sister.
Or a manga.
Yeah, it's a manga. So I told my little sister, I'm like, it's a book. And she's like, cool, I'm looking for a new book to read, so I'll just read this book. And I'm like, and then like I looked into it and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, it's not a book, it's a manga. And she's like, oh, then I'm not reading it.
I mean, it's a graphic novel.
She's not going to read it.
Okay. Cool. What else? What was the second thing?
The second thing is I had participated in playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey in Chrome.
Oh, I heard about
Yeah, I
this.
had gotten into it. And they announced like if you play at least an hour worth of this, you will get it for free.
Oh wow!
For that style or that.
No.
way
Well,
you gain it?
You link your Ubisoft account or Ubisoft.
Oh, okay.
And so I've received it in my Ubisoft account, so I got a free game.
How was it on Chrome?
It was terrible for me. I don't know. I think I explained it.
Your
it has to do,
internet?
the internet connection. So, like starting it, going into the menu, everything seemed perfectly fine. It felt like great. Like it looked like I was like playing on like a really nice computer. And then I hit start, and it like goes into like the whole story, and immediately starts lagging like crazy, dude. I couldn't even get past the tutorial part because I kept dying because like I couldn't match the dodge to when they're attacking me and doing all this stuff. So I just like literally had it on and was randomly doing stuff and like wating it. Eventually, like I'm not gonna lie, like 30 minutes into it, I eventually got through it. I'm like, oh cool, all right. And like I couldn't. So what I would do is I would literally like just do things and play, like because I was worried. I was
learning.
I was worried. I don't know if they wanted like a cumulative 1 hour or if they wanted like 1 hour session.
Okay.
So I was trying to get it, and every time I'd be like, it's not an hour. And I'd be like, I don't really want to do it. And I would turn it off. And so I never actually did a full hour.
Oh, you got it?
But I did like 45 minutes one day. I did like 10 minutes another day. And I did another 45 minutes another day. And I was like,
had to do 5.
I was like, I'm hoping this is enough. But every time I'd be like, just like looking away and just
It's like, why is this guy
moving
running
around.
into a wall? Like, it's like,
It's a bot.
Yeah, and it would move so slowly. And I was like, I hope I get it. And sure enough,
They're like, hey, we got you the full version on Chrome.
just give it to him.
Look
Yeah.
at him dance.
So yeah, I got the free copy on my.
How is it
Ubisoft
on
account.
your other version? Smooth?
I haven't downloaded it yet. I just got the email today actually.
Oh, okay. I'd laugh if it was just as laggy.
Damn.
It was at the internet.
Well, we're upgrading it soon. So yeah, and that's the other thing is I'm upgrading my PC.
Mm.
So new
New year, new
CPU,
me, new stream.
an i7 9700.
What does that mean?
It
It's
means
like
it's
the
one.
model. It's pretty
it's
good.
It's the highest for the i7, and the next one up is an i9, which is brand new.
Woo.
And I didn't want to get an i9 because I don't feel like.
Are
I have
you
any
like
components.
future proofing?
I feel like getting an i9 would have been future proofing. i7 is. I don't think I am.
You don't think it's future proofing?
Not for the near future.
What
no.
do you plan on doing with it? Porn.
Making porn, virtual porn.
Making porn. Let's go.
And then because of that, I had to get a motherboard too. So I bought a motherboard and the.
You kept everything else, like the
well,
GPU. And all
I
that stuff?
haven't like bought any. Well, the GPU is one of my newest things, but I'm assuming I didn't realize how old my components were. So my motherboard and my the current CPU I have, which is an i5 4650, which is like as low as you can go before it becomes like the next lower down. Those two components are like just super old.
So
and
what are you
out
gonna
of
do with the current computer? Streaming?
I'm using this component, so I'm literally just removing my motherboard, putting in the new one, putting all the old components into that.
I mean,
and
you
then
might
putting
as
the
well
new
just
CPU.
buy a few extra parts, make it a streaming PC, and you got 2 PCs.
Nah.
He'll turn around.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'll keep those
Old
components for a
Daniel
while.
Next week.
Old dude coming around.
The motherboard came out
Cool.
already.
I'm excited to hear how
CPU comes in Saturday, so pretty much on Saturday I'm gonna
build.
I think I'm gonna redo my desk too. So I have what is it called? Like when you connect an outlet and it turns into multiple outlets.
A hub?
Like a hub, but it's like a surge protector essentially.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I got one that like it looks like you can mount it on things. So I'm trying to mount it to the bottom of my desk, and I use that double-sided 3M tape, and it says like to be really good and stick well, like stick it and like leave it like holding it together for like a couple minutes.
Right.
So I don't think it sticks to freaking wood, or at least the bottom of my desk.
Super glue.
So I tried it. And then it finally, like I let go. I'm like, oh shit, it's perfect, done. And then like minutes later, you hear like, and like everything's just falling. So it has holes for screws. I think I'm gonna screw into the bottom of my desk, and I'm gonna just like wire everything nicely.
Nice.
Obviously clean out my whole PC since I'm gonna be taking everything out and putting in a motherboard, and then just like redoing all the wires so it's nice and everything too. So it'll be a good
Good luck.
good PC relaxing day.
Good stream.
Yeah. Stream it.
Maybe I'll make a video out of it. Who knows?
Cool. Jang, what were you been up to?
So I finally, speaking of upgrades, finally bought a second monitor.
What?
Fucking night and day. So I was playing Apex and I couldn't see people. Like people were like pointing them out, like enemy over there. I'm like, I couldn't see shit. And so I was like, dude, I really need a second monitor. So I bought a pretty decent
What
monitor.
would the second monitor do?
Well, I
you
mean,
see better?
it would.
You would be playing on that one?
I mean, the current monitor I have is 10 years old.
Wow.
So it's
CRT?
like a no. It's like a old ass Samsung LCD, and so I was like, you know what? I need a new monitor because frame rate. I was having like refresh rate issues. Like when I would get into battles, I could feel like the choppiness. Not choppiness, but the refresh rate wasn't there. So
Okay.
I was like, I need a second monitor, and bought one. And fuck,
What's the size?
24.
Okay.
1 millisecond, 144 hertz. Let's go. Go
Damn,
sideways, dude.
fucking, I gotta cover up here.
It's not a top tier gaming
Is it a
monitor.
bend-
It's like
but it's a
mid tier.
high-
It's a
I would-
mid
Is it a
tier.
curved one?
If it's
No, it's not
144
curved.
refresh rate, I would say it's higher than mid tier.
Okay, well,
You could be a mid. You could get an affordable 144.
but it's like for gaming.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's maybe it is high.
And
tier.
so you play like you have the window of Apex in that one now. Okay.
Yes. And why didn't I have two monitors? Because streaming is, dude, streaming on a PC, I would have to minimize the
What?
thing, look at chat, maximize. Now I can see my OBS. I can see my audio
You're in
levels.
the future,
I
bro.
know, dude.
Welcome.
Stream key, new camera. They're like, holy shit! Like my camera used to be like 15 feet away and zoomed in. Now it looks super clear. You see my big ass head. Like, okay, I'm ready for Apex. Man. But dude, I look so dumb playing Apex. I'm like,
You get caught with your mouth open like,
yeah. But man, I'm getting destroyed in Apex, dude. It's bad.
I mean,
in the first 2 days were good, but man, I'm getting destroyed now. I think it's who I play with, because there's like a mold of a team that you need, and like there's certain people that I play with that I fit perfectly into that mold, and then I play with another. Now, I'm not saying they're bad. We're just our play styles don't mesh, and we can't get wins. But and I'm doing Bloodborne.
Blood level 4.
Blood level 4.
are you sure you're doing this, or?
I mean, I've pretty much beat 90% of the bosses in the main game.
I saw you face one thing.
Martyr Logarius. That guy is considered the second hardest game and the second hardest boss.
He couldn't even see his health.
So I explained this to Vargas, right? So like, there's a moment when he's in the air and I shoot, and he kind of just goes, and he comes in to hit me. I get hit by it. There's a moment where he charges back for a hit, and I could have shot him and killed him. The problem is, if we exchanged, I was afraid we were going to exchange. He would have one hit killed me. If we exchanged, I would have failed that. That's why I didn't shoot. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking that Jurassic Park scene, like, shoot! Ah! I'm like, butt cheeks clenched. And I died. 3 pixels, dude. I mean,
at least you can see how many pixels on your new monitor.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You still haven't beaten him?
Oh, I beat him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Fuck, dude. That's a boss I understand too, which is kind of funny. Like, but I was still having a hard time with him. Like, to me, he's not hard because I understand him, but he's just super aggressive and it's very hard to dodge. Like,
he puts the pressure on.
Yeah, but I'm about to face the hardest boss.
How many more are left?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
5 left.
How many total bosses are there?
There's a lot. There's about 20, I think.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Cool.
I don't want to go. I don't want to start her because I feel like I'm going to be stuck on her for a while. So I want to play Apex. Even though I said I would only play Apex once a week.
Yeah. Which Jenga are we talking to today?
Shit, dude. So there's another streamer that I stream with, and he was like, "Oh, once a week, huh?" Make it up for lost time, you know? Like, but announced TwitchCon, and I bought the hostel. They didn't sell tickets, but I could cancel it. So I don't know. Depending on the guest, I'm gonna go to TwitchCon in San Diego.
Oh. At the convention center?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So.
That's a big venue.
Yep. And
I wonder if it's like the whole thing or just
probably
like part of it.
Probably not. But
You never know. Casey Neistat might show up.
Twilight Zone trailer dropped, and it looks good.
Interesting stuff. I'm wondering if Black Mirror will drop around the same time to like try to compete. Because all these networks are competing now.
You know, I like Black Mirror. The thing I don't like about Black Mirror is it's technology based, and I feel like Twilight Zone, at least the old school one, was more social commentary based.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's broader.
yeah. So
I hope that it offers something different.
yeah.
Because I appreciate what Black Mirror does, but it's like you said, it's niche. It's like this is what technology specifically. You know.
And dude, Jordan Peele, it's perfect.
Is it besides narrating? Is he producing or writing?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm wondering what creative involvement he's in because
He should do one.
Yeah,
I'm
episode.
excited, and I feel like even if he's not involved, like he has say. Like,
Okay.
I feel like there'll be moments.
He's
where,
vouched
like,
it.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the fact that he's on this, like, it's almost like his stamp of approval. He's like, this is good to watch.
And you know what's funny? Like, you think of Rod Serling, like, narrating it, like, dang, no one can replace him. But, damn, Jordan Peele is a good... I mean, after... Like, if he said before Get Out, like, Jordan Peele, what the... But he has a good voice, and, like, he's
building
yeah.
himself a name.
Yeah.
I think in this genre vibe.
Which is crazy. Like,
It's
it's
cool.
just like... Before Get Out, like, I thought of him as just like
Obama.
a comedian. Like...
All right, come here.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he, in a lot of ways, makes me think of Guillermo del Toro in terms of his passion for a genre or a style.
Yeah.
He's like, I love this. Like everything evolved with horror or with the eerie or with the weird. And I get that vibe from Del Toro with like the macabre and the Cthulhu and the horror, and like he has a fascination with it, and it's also like a lot like it's not all like, even though it's nightmares and stuff, it's not evil. He's like, he looks at it with like a sincerity.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking, this kind of old scary stories. I don't know if you mentioned Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yeah,
What is
but
that?
It's a book.
Oh yeah, by Guillermo. Yeah. I remember
What's
seeing
that little kid doing in the window?
I'm not listening. fuck off.
immediately my hair's like,
I'm like, boom, Mozambique.
But yeah.
well, you got as good last time too. That you're.
I did.
It was like he's like, you're like. That was good though. You got it good.
That was sorry. I love that. Cool. Are you reading anything still? What happened to that book?
Damn, you made no fucking.
You got Apex.
Once that monitor came in, game over. I was like, dude, this is so cool. Dude, it was fucking. The left monitor is
dim.
dull. Yeah,
It's
this
like, kill me, please.
those atom bomb people like watching it in the 50s. God, it's a little too big. That's what she said. Because I have to like. Enemy over there. Oh.
You gotta look in the corner to see what
Something I love doing with PC games, especially with a larger monitor, is changing my angle of view.
Yes.
Have you done that with?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
yes,
it's
yes,
so good.
yes.
Gotta look in the corner to see someone. I was like, oh.
I've actually been thinking of switching from 2 monitors to an ultra wide.
Oh,
And just having windows of everything. Because I already kind of do
That's
a
cool.
window of Destiny.
Curved.
When I was looking into dual monitors, people were saying like the cheap way to go is to get one widescreen monitor, and I was just like, I just don't want one monitor. I just don't want one.
Yeah, I kind of like. I like 2 monitors, but I'm used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's been just fucking Destiny. I'm so close to fucking being done with.
So you haven't done it.
Getting ready for Anthem.
No. I see it. Like, it looks cool. I just don't like.
It's got a lot of problems, and I'm.
Well,
I've already,
there's the bugs, and I feel like I'd want to play it on PC, but I don't know. I feel like the controller would lend itself better to it because
Well-
it's third person. But the bigger things that I'm like, I don't need this right now is because I'm like, okay, once it because these 2 things in Destiny I want to just finish, so I can move on to these games that I've been wanting to play, and I'm like, I don't feel like I need another games as a service like Destiny to fill up this time slot. Same with Division. I'm like, I really love the world, and I feel like Anthem is a game I will play because it looks cool. I also don't feel like there's like that end game stuff. Like everything I've seen, I've been watching a lot of streamers play it, and I'm like, okay, they're just shooting the same 8 things again.
Yeah, they're doing the same.
And
content
none
over
of the
and over again.
guns draw me. I'm like, there's no cool, like, I feel like Division was like this, where I'm like, I don't know a gun.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, Destiny thing where it's like, last word.
Yeah, like they're very
Iconic
defined.
And it
Yeah,
seems
exactly.
like the way you describe Destiny, it's more like there's more thought and puzzles involved. And this is just bullet sponges.
Yeah.
When I see people
see
play,
people
it's
just
just like do for like 20 minutes, 30. Yeah.
I mean, like that's usually how the end game, and like so they have what's called like Grandmaster 1, which they have like 150% more health than the regular.
Yeah, and
Grandmaster 2, 450% extra health. Grandmaster 3, 960% extra health.
I feel like the Anthem has more in common with Diablo than it does with Destiny.
Yeah.
Like, this whole, like, it's going to be a Destiny kill. I'm like, I feel like it's because it's all PvE, so there's no PvP competition. Division is probably more of a in line with a competitor with Destiny. This is just like, okay, go and do an instance, take out all the bullet sponge stuff, which you do in Diablo with like all your abilities and stuff, and you have like a spamming gun attack or something. It looks beautiful and it looks cool, but yeah. Destiny, though, I'm so close to fucking being done with these 2 milestones.
Have you finished either of them?
No. And I've worried about one of them because it's the Crucible one. And I'm worried about the final step, but the 2 steps before I have not put time into, which is do 25 Rumble matches and do 25 competitive matches. After you do that, I have to do 20 Crucible bounties. And then the last step is reach rank 5 or 5 resets.
And
I'm doing the 5 resets.
Yeah.
Because you can do that. You can do that ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm worried the most about that one because I'm like, okay, that's gonna keep. I have to keep grinding these bounties and stuff. But I'm like, wait, fuck, I have a week. Like it's this week and then the next week.
Yeah.
So I'm already in this week. So I'm like, I feel like I need to put the work in now, so that last week I don't have to pay.
Yeah.
But that's taking up time. I've been watching some TV actually, which is I haven't been watching a lot in a while. Besides Star Trek, I'll get to Star Trek in a second because there's some stuff to talk about. I've started and finished Umbrella Academy.
Nice.
Damn.
How many episodes?
12.
10.
30 minutes? Out
Right,
an hour.
Hour each.
Hour.
Food.
10 hours.
Yeah.
Food.
I don't like. I was like,
That could've
yeah,
been-
you know what? I'll
that
get
could've
into
been
it.
Crucible. Could have been Crucible.
I'm
You know
doing
who,
it while I'm.
You probably know, but you know who wrote that comic book?
Umbrella?
Lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
What?
Yeah.
He's a comic book writer.
Yeah, he started. That was his first comic, and what blew my that was like what? And then I saw that the foreword of the comic is written by Grant Morrison. I remember reading it when it first came out. I was like, this is weird. I'm into it. And Grant Morrison wrote the foreword to it. I'm like, I'm even more into it. He's vouching for you. You're onto something. And it was weird. It had, and I tried this experiment with it when I was reading it, which was I never listened to My Chemical Romance besides like I heard a song or two here or there. And they had just come out with a new album at the time of the comic coming out. And I was like, you know what? Download the album.
Parade?
Yeah. And I played the album on loop while I was reading the full graphic novel.
My
And
father.
there were parts that I was like, this lines up. Like, it felt like it fit. In some weird way, I just, like, linked the two. The show does a lot of cool things with music. And I appreciate that. Much like how, like, Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim, and some other stuff, they do these little moments of, like,
So,
here's an action scene.
I might watch it, actually.
I actually noticed that by not watching. So my dad actually got into watching it.
That's what Katie did, too.
He was on episode 2 or episode 3.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like on my computer playing World of Warcraft.
As you do.
And I hear Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, this has got to be fucking good. And so I fucking walk out and I'm like, I'm watching the scene and I'm like, and my dad's like, why are you watching? And I'm like, I heard this music and I'm pretty sure this is a good scene. So yeah, that's one thing I kind of noticed.
Episode 2 had one where it's like Run Boy Run is a song. And it's at the very beginning. It shows the time traveling kid. And the title of the song fits so well with it. The music felt right for the scene. And I was like, God, like, and I was worried that it was a one trick pony. It's like, that's the only good part. But like, it held up. It had the vibe that I'd been missing, and it felt like this weird dysfunctional thing. Now, granted, it's this weird vibe right now with a lot of TV superhero stuff where a lot of TV superhero is like, okay, we got Doom Patrol's out, dysfunctional team. Weird. Umbrella Academy's out, dysfunctional, weird team. Deadly Class is out. Not that, but it's like, it's got that school vibe.
Yeah.
And I finished. I'm gonna finish with Umbrella in a second, but I started Deadly Class now, and the worst thing I'm doing is comparing it to Umbrella Academy. It is not like once I was finally able to disconnect the two, it became better, and I think that like that's
Is Deadly Class on Netflix?
it's on FX.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm watching it. That's been taking me a little while to get into, partially because I was right off of Umbrella and going straight into it. I would highly recommend Umbrella.
I think I'm going to watch it.
If you if you've enjoyed the comic, I think
I've never read the comic. That's the thing.
you should read the comic. It is different. It is. It makes some big differences with it, and it combines. He's done more volumes. I haven't read them, but from what I'm watching or from what I've watched, he's added some things from the later volumes into this to kind of make it so there's more to it. The cast I thought was really good. The guy. So you guys have watched Game of Thrones?
Yes.
You remember the guy that gets burned up? The son of that one guy? He's like, Daenerys is like, I will burn your son.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
In the latest season.
Yeah.
That guy is like one of the guys in the...
Mary J. Blige is in Umbrella Academy. She's an R&B singer.
Oh, really?
Black.
I think.
She's the
hit person.
yeah the female.
yeah.
It looks like her. So
Yeah,
I didn't
okay,
catch it though. But
that's
now that
right.
he says it, I think it's her.
Damn, that's cool. She's good.
She did her own stunts.
Fuck, what?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
She's
then
pretty cool.
when
No,
she got,
she's pretty cool.
Then when she got hit, stabbed in the butt. So
It's got a cool weird vibe to it. Deadly Class is not superpowers. There's no superpowers.
Right.
I keep thinking they have powers. It's just delinquents in a high school.
I'm gonna get a lot of
Deadly
shit. I didn't
Class.
like the comic book. I stopped reading it when I was reading comics.
Yeah, it's fine.
I just like.
And it's Rick Remender, which I usually love his stuff, and I've only read a little bit. I haven't finished his comics, but I feel like I would like his comic more than the show.
Mm-hmm.
The show leans too much into the high school drama shit that I don't care. I do not care about like
Freeform.
huh?
Oh, that's a channel that focuses on
high
like
school?
Cloak and Dagger.
Oh,
kind of,
okay,
like,
yeah. It is, yeah. I don't like that. It's just like, oh, fucking, just cry me a river already. Like, just angsty. Like, I get it. I mean, I'm not like shitting on like those situations that they're going through because they're all people that are lived in harsh conditions or whatever. But it's just like the way they show it. It's somewhat cringeworthy, and I'm just like, whatever. Like when it gets into the more like this is a school teaching you the deadly arts, I'm into it, and then it doesn't always do that. And I'm like,
so
okay.
they're essentially they're becoming assassins.
They're sort of like this. Well, the main character is a homeless kid, and he gets picked up as like, okay, you can be in this school. But a lot of people in this school have a legacy. They have a family line that they've been brought in, and
he's
so
known as this
there's
person.
the gangster squad, there's the yakuza squad, there's the neo-Nazi squad. It's like a prison vibe to it, where they're like, no, they will kill you. You can die in here.
Yeah.
And you have to survive. And then there's the rats, and they have no legacy, and they're like the delinquents of the thing. And they kind of band together, and this kid kind of falls in with them. And so it's got some of like that Breakfast Club, high school drama, weird shit vibe, but it doesn't always hit. And so it's inconsistent for me. I might give it another episode or two. Last show I'll talk about is Star Trek, and there's an episode, or at least a scene you need to see, and I feel like we should all see because it might be a topic of the future.
Okay.
It was an episode in which they're at a space station, and I give credit to my friend Sam. He was like, "You're gonna like this episode." I knew nothing about the episode I was about to start, and he's like, "You're gonna like this." I was like, and I texted him like, "Oh my god, that was such a good episode." So the premise of it was, they're at this like port essentially, and they're resting and recouping and getting stuff. And a science officer's like, "We're gonna take your data, the android, and we're gonna need him to. We're taking him off your ship, and we're gonna be doing some experiments." Like, I'm sorry, what? He's a member of our crew. Why? He's like, "Oh, we need. He's the last. The scientist who created him." He's no longer with us, and we need to take him apart to understand what he did to create such technology so we can then create more of this and maybe make him better or whatever. And they're like, so the evidence he gave was not convincing to them that he knew what he was doing, but he's like, I'll know what I'm doing once I've disassembled him. Mm-hmm. And then Data's like, no, I have rights. I'm a member of this crew. I'm sentient. And they're like, no, you're property. You're a member. Mm-hmm. You're just a box. Yeah. You're not living. Mm-hmm. And the argument then became, and Picard was like, I'm going to fight for this. Like, I don't agree with this. And they're like, okay, then the only thing we can do is go to court. Oh, and so they go to court of like whether Data is a living sentient thing that can decide for itself. And they were like, we don't have anyone else to do this court case, so we need someone to be the prosecutor. And they're like, okay, well, in a situation like this, you're going to be his defendant. We need the next person in lineage to be his prosecutor, and that's Riker, who's his number one. And he's like, wait, fuck. Like, I support him. He's like a member of my crew. And he's like, it's either that or he goes straight to the sciences. He's like, fuck. And he's like, if I sense that you're not doing your job to the best of your ability, then I'm going to throw this whole thing out. And he's like, fuck, I actually have to prove that, like, he's fighting as if he has to prove that he's a...
Did Data go up to speak?
So they did a court case.
Did he do release
from Independence Day.
Yes.
Well, they do this back and forth, and they made some good points both ways. And Picard does this great speech of like he makes an epitome after speaking with Whoopi of like what his case is, of how he can argue. And it was a really good.
Yeah.
And I really feel like.
You're like,
It's
he doesn't like
given the stuff we've talked about, androids and in all virtual reality and
Sleeping.
cybernetics
I
and stuff.
totally forgot Whoopi Goldberg was in that show. Holy shit! I just realized that. And a picture with their
hat.
Yeah, holy shit.
But that's the case he makes was so like holy damn. And Data made some cases earlier. Like there was one point like, and I was racking my brain trying to remember, and Katie reminded me early on before the case even comes up. Picard is talking to him. He's like, they want to take you in. He's like, why? And he's like, explain. He's like, well, that doesn't make sense to me. He's like, it doesn't make sense to me either. I don't know what to do. He's like, well, let me ask you this, Captain. Geordi wears cybernetic glasses, and does he see better with them? And he's like, yeah, he does. He's like, then why isn't it required of everyone in Starfleet to wear what Geordi wears? Like, not everyone has to be the most improved, efficient version. And it was a little case of like that requirement and all this stuff. There was some things that the scientist was saying in the episode, not in the case, but like, he's like, okay, well, if we have to check if Data is approving us to service or do anything with him, do we need to do that for the ship? Is the ship sentient?
Yeah.
By that analogy? And it's like, oh shit, like how far does that line go and all this stuff? It's like, oh my God.
Damn.
Like it was cool. I was like, man, the speech alone is worth watching, but like the episode is good.
Did he dab at the end?
Yeah, he
Rest
does.
my case.
Outside of that, oh my God.
You almost forgot.
Last thing I'll say before I stop.
And I cleared the throat.
So there was a wrestling pay-per-view. There's two more. There's one more after the one that just happened. It was Elimination Chamber, and there's one more called Fastlane, and then there's WrestleMania.
Okay.
So Elimination Chamber happened, and no one really was like, it's got a few matches that might be good, whatever. The main one, there was no Brock Lesnar fight, but the other equivalent to his title was the one that Daniel Bryan has. Daniel Bryan has been a bad guy as of late, for all intents and purposes. He's like he's a planeteer, and he's like snobbish to anyone. He's like, you're all wasting the world away.
But are people still...
No.
Okay.
He calls them fickle. Anytime they do any chant that is catchy, he's like, fickle. And like he's just like a shitty Weasley, like I'm better than you. I believe in a higher, all this stuff. He changed the title to be all hemp. Like it's not leather, it's hemp now.
Oh my God.
And so he's holding that. Anyway, so it's an elimination chamber. So what this is it's a giant cage like Hell in a Cell, and there's pods, 6 of them, in which everyone starts in them, and then two people start fighting, and then every 3 to 5 minutes, a pod opens randomly and someone enters.
Oh, sure.
And the fight continues. And if you get pinned or tapped out, you leave, and then the match continues until one person's left. And that person's the winner. So if, let's say, Daniel Bryan gets pinned, immediately you know it's going to be a new champion. So anyway, they had a 6 people set, and it's like AJ, some of the top guys, like Randy Orton, AJ Styles, all these big guys that you're like, okay, they could potentially be. Then there was this guy that was set to fight in this who was he was like a cruiserweight, small guy, been making a bigger name for himself. He recently got a concussion. He couldn't wrestle. He was like, fuck, I missed this opportunity.
Yeah.
They needed to fill that. Like literally a week before, they're like, we got to fill this spot. Someone from the New Day is going to fill this spot. And they're like, Kofi. He's the oldest of the 3. There's Xavier Woods, who's the up, down guy, and his 2 friends are Kofi and Big E, who's the bulky one. Kofi's the one that's been in WWE for like 12 years, 11 years. He's never won the WWE title. They like, okay, you're going. So the Tuesday before the pay-per-view, they did a gauntlet to see like who starts the tournament and who maybe gets to be the last person to enter from their pod.
Because it's favorable for
Yeah,
them.
it's because they're the most rested. He starts the gauntlet on the TV show, not on the pay-per-view, on the TV show. He goes for an hour and 20 minutes fighting AJ Styles. He beat Daniel Bryan 1-1. He fights AJ. He fights a few other people, and he finally gets taken out. But everyone was like, "Holy fuck!" Like he's just not like New Day's been known as this like fun, goofy, pancake throwing,
trombone,
game like referencing Bootios tag team, but they're tag team. Never would you take him on this level seriously, and that was everyone in the crowd was like, "Holy shit, that was fucking rad." And they were behind him. They're like, "Fucking yeah, go Kofi." Kofi like rocked it, but they were like, maybe that was it. That was his one time. The Elimination Chamber goes, and it's like standard stuff. Everyone's got their spots. Everyone's doing this. Slowly, people are getting knocked out, and you're like, okay, he might get to the final 3, whatever. It's just him and Daniel at the finals, and you're like, oh, okay. They're running with that. They're running with that. Mm-hmm. They fucking fight, and it's like a whole nother match now. Like the length of this match was almost as equal to the original. And like Daniel Bryan hits his finisher, which is this running knee. He's hit it on John Cena, pins him right after one of those. He's hit it on like Batista, Triple H, all these big guys. That's the end. They go down. The match is done. He hits it on Kofi, and you're like, fine, finally the match is over. He kicks out, and you're like. When that moment happened, I got tingles. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like up until this point, it's like okay, there's a behind the scenes. Yeah. They're gonna keep it on him, but I was like, oh, anything can happen. And Katie was watching with me, and she was like, oh my god, go! She has never like gotten into Kofi, and we were both like, fucking go! And like they did so many fucking just like you believed, and I was like, I haven't felt this way in forever. I honestly cannot remember the last time. It was like 5 years maybe. They're going to town, and then he goes for a big risk. He fails it. Daniel gets him with another knee. He pins him, and it was just soul crushing. And we were like, okay, it's gonna be over. That was the night. The camera lingers on Kofi, and you just see him like I'm getting a little chills right now. He's just like. Ashamed. Yeah. Like you see him covering up. And what gave me chills wasn't there. I was like, man, I feel for him. All of a sudden, New Day runs to the ring like he's like, he needs us. Like he just like suffered a loss. Like that was the closest he's ever been. He's never won a title in his career. Or a champion, the main title in his career. He's won many other titles. Mm-hmm. And they came to him like, dude, like you're good. And it was just such a sincere moment. I was like, what am I feeling right now? I don't know. Like
I'm a robot. I've never had feelings before.
And like they're helping him get out of the ring, and and then before they leave, he sits on the bench of the cage, and he's just like,
almost had it.
And he like picks himself up, and like the crowd is electric. Like I have like The Rock gets this kind of reaction.
Yeah, it's like
they have something. Like I hope. Management here is feeling this.
Yeah. It's like playing Tetris 99, just you're second place.
So what's crazy was I was like, I honestly hope they don't just be like, whatever, that's it. They are giving him a 1-1-1 title match in the next pay-per-view, which is not WrestleMania, but it's the next pay-per-view. I'm like, this adds up. Like if they can keep riding this momentum, they'll listen and there's something.
Right.
So
that moment when he kicks out the first time, you think that was scripted or
scripted?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I think they knew that they're going with credit goes to Daniel Bryan too for being able to sell a match and make it as believable that he could lose it. Because they had been doing slaps on his chest all night. Right. Like specifically, he had blood marks. Like it was enough slaps where like the nails were like leaving marks. And like you were like, he's worn. He was the first one in, Daniel Bryan. Yeah. And like, oh my god, like it was just, I don't know, it was a believability to it that you haven't felt in a while. And I'm like, they need to they lost that somewhere along the way in a lot of their matches. And this was one of those moments where I was like, I believe it. And it was like, it feels like a kid again, like or a teenager watching this shit, jumping up when the TV. It's like it isn't fake, there is that. There's a story. So it was cool. I wanted to share that.
Nice.
It was a fun time.
Get those chills again.
I was literally when I was describing Kofi, and like Xavier has like made it vocal. He's been vocal about it. He's like, many people will say they want to be the best. They in this company. Their goal is to be the best. He's like, that is not my goal in this company. I look up to Kofi as a father figure in this company. I've watched him before I came here, and I'm watching him now as his friend, as his roommate, as his driving buddy. I want him to be the champion. I won't rest until he becomes the champion. And he's like, that's my mission, is to get everyone on his side to support. I was like, that's a fucking, like, that's a bro. Like, just, I don't know. There's something about their friendship thing. I'm like, a lot of tag teams, they'll eventually make them betray each other. And I'm like, I don't think they'll ever do that with the three of them. They could.
What if like that moment comes where it's like Kofi or
Xavier and fucking backstabs. Yeah, that's good storytelling too. But he got me believing him. So I think that's cool.
You get that build at the top of the ladder, and then you just drop Kofi off that ladder, dude.
So yeah, I want to share that.
Nice, dude.
Episode 107 in the books.
Yeah.
Where can people find you guys?
They can find me at the Fulio365 on Instagram and in the Fulio everywhere else.
At the Last Bosses everywhere.
You can find me at Cujo Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. Leave a review or like or anything. We appreciate those wherever you can. iTunes preferably, but anywhere is fine. Just any kind of feedback. We always love that stuff. The slightest comment, even if you hate something, like we'll be like, we're here, we're listening. So we appreciate that. And until next time, well,
DLC.
You later.